Hi everyone, this is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. Just like humans understand visuals, text, models or large language models or vision language models only understand numbers. We have a special kind of models which convert our visuals or text into numbers. These are called as embedding models in simple words. They're also called as encoder. Now, these embedding models for text we have seen a lot. When it comes to vision models, there are not many. That is why when Google released the next version of this SigLIP vision encoder or vision embedding model, it was a big thing. In this video, not only I'm going to show you how to locally install it and use it, we are also going to delve into it in very simple words to see and to understand what exactly is happening. I'm not going to assume that you are a machine learning engineer. I'm not going to explain any mathematical or statistical or probability terms. All we are going to do, we are going to understand the whole background and why this SigLIP2 is so important. And I believe that going forward, especially this year, we are going to see more and more application and involvement of the SigLIP2 function, especially when we would be using the vision model or mainly text to image, text to video model. So let's try to understand first what exactly is this model. SigLIP2 is an encoder model. An encoder is just like a translator that helps the model understand images and text. It takes in the image or text and breaks it down into smaller pieces like a puzzle. Then it converts these pieces into a special set of numbers that the computer or model can understand. This process is called as encoding. The encoder's job is to turn the image or text into a format that the model can work with so it can learn and make prediction. Just as an example, let's suppose you have a model like Flux1 Dev or any stable diffusion model which does text to image. Now, before you actually use that model to convert a text into image, you need an encoder model or embedding model which would actually encode your text or image. That is where models like these SigLip and Clip and few other help out. And I will explain what exactly is the difference between those two in very simple words. So now I hope that you understand what is the encoder model. Think of it like a turning a picture into a set of instructions that the model can follow. So what is SigLip2 then? SigLip2 is an encoder model that learns by combining multiple strategies. At its core, it matches images with text, similar to pairing a picture of cat with the word cat. Unlike older methods, SigLip2 uses a sigmoid loss approach which provides a smoother learning process. The model is also trained to generate captions for images and it can also pinpoint specific details within an image. It also uses self distillation techniques where it teaches itself by predicting missing information in images. This helps improve its internal representation and performance in tasks like image segmentation. This model is built on a vision transformer design which breaks down images and text into smaller pieces and converts them into a computer friendly format or embeddings or encodings. After that, it compares and matches visual and text information. It also has got multilingual capabilities, so you can use it with many cultural and linguistic context. Finally, in very simple terms, SigLip2's approach to learning is like teaching a child to recognize objects one at a time rather than comparing multiple objects at once. This approach is simpler, more stable, and effective for models task. So I hope that now you understand what SigLip2 is. Let's try to get it installed and we will see how it works. Before that, let me give a huge shout out to Mast Compute who are sponsoring the VM and GPU for this video. If you're looking to rent a GPU on very affordable prices, I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Plus, I'm also going to give you a coupon code of 50% discount on a range of GPUs. This is my Ubuntu system and this is my GPU card NVIDIA RTX A6000 with 48 GB of VRAM courtesy massed compute. Let's quickly create a virtual environment with Conda and it shouldn't take too long. And by the way, if you go to the model card of Google, you would see there are a lot of variants in different sizes and patches, large, base, giant. There are various available. So you can, it depends upon what sort of system resources you have. I'm just going to go with the latest, this one, patch 16.2241. And this is the model on Hugging Face. All the models are available there, by the way, which is really, really good. So let's wait for it to get installed. And I hopefully my Conda environment is ready by now. It is. So let's install all the prerequisites. Now make sure that out of these, the torch and transformers are must there. And the torch vision too, of course. I install all of it so that we would meet all the prerequisites. This is going to take a couple of minutes. So let's wait. And while it does that, let me also introduce you to the sponsors of the video, who are AgentBot. AgentBot lets you effortlessly deploy a personalized knowledge bot across platforms like Discord, Slack, and others. It is ideal for open source tech communities and startups that provide user support, and I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Okay, so I'm sure it is almost done. Yep, almost there. Okay, first now let's download our model, and I'm just going to go with this Hugging Face Transformers pipeline. And the model is being downloaded. The size is just 1.5 gig. These encoder models are quite small, just like the embedding models for text LLMs. Okay, so the model is loaded. Let's see it in action. Now, you see what I'm doing here. I'm just getting an image from my local system. This is just an image of this bear here. And then I am giving it a list of some candidate labels. And then I am asking the model to classify them. So this is a zero-shot classification where we are assuming model has never seen it. And then model is matching this text with this image and then giving us the score. Now, again, just to repeat here, as I said earlier, this SigLIP2 uses sigmoid loss function. There is another type of function which other models use. It is called as contrastive loss. Now, this is a good time to explain the difference between these two. Imagine you are teaching a child to recognize their favorite toy. Sigmoid loss is like showing the toy one at a time and asking, "Is this your toy?" The child learns to say yes or no for each object individually. Whereas contrastive loss is like showing a pile of or a bucket of toys and saying to the kid, "Pick out your favorite toy." The child has to compare and choose the best match. So you can immediately see that sigmoid loss function focuses on one decision at a time, while contrastive loss compares everything at once. Sigmoid is fast, simple, and more stable, but contrastive loss works best when clear wrong choices exist. And the clip models, they normally use contrastive loss, whereas the SigLip2 is using this sigmoid loss function. Okay, so now let me see it to check out what it prints. And there you go. So the model has printed these scores for the label. So if you look here, our labels were a bear, a man, and two dogs. So for the dog and the man, the score is 0. So model has no confidence in that. But for the bear, the score is confident. So it means that SigLIP has very correctly identified with zero shot classification. The it has matched the label with my image. Now let's try to confuse the model. So I'm going to give it this image of a cathedral, and I have given it these labels. So I'm asking it a building, a cathedral, a car, and a synagogue. So let's run it to see what it does. You see how quick that is, and there you go. So cathedral's score is very high, so quite confident. And then building is also not, I mean, there is some score, so it means it has got it good, but For synagogue again, little bit, and for car it is quite low. So you see, it has really been spot on in terms of the scoring the labels. And if I quickly show you the VRAM consumption as the model is loaded, it is just consuming 1.8 or 1.9 gig of VRAM on your system, so you can easily run it on CPU. So look, there is a lot of other to unpack for this SigLIP2 function, so I'm not going to cover it in one video. I'll be making more because there are a few things I want to also share with you. So stay tuned and I'll be making a few more videos on the SigLIP2. Very happy with this model and really good to see, because these are the kind of models which don't get released every day. Because when we see that models like for example llama get released and all that stuff, they keep coming, but these SigLIP model you won't see them coming every few months, they or maybe every couple of months, because they take time, they're quite specific, and that is why I believe it is really important to get the basics right. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.